Cyborg Rebirth Issue 1, written by John Semper Jr. and art by Paul Pelletier. What did you think of this, Matt?
It was a bit of a slog. It had so much promise, and for me, it didn't deliver. I was
Interesting.
disappointed. Yeah.
See, I didn't love it, but I feel a lot more positive on it than you seem to.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that it kind of did it did the recap of the origin and explained these
Yeah.
pairings and explained all that. I think that was partly. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of that in the Rebirth issues anyway to make sure everyone's up to
Yeah,
speed.
and that wasn't my issue with that because I'm fine with a cyborg origin, even though in the last 5 years this is the third time we've revisited it. But for new readers, it's cool. Like, let's establish who this guy is and why he's half machine, half man. Well, 3/4 machine and quarter man, I guess.
Yeah, well, I quite enjoyed it. I liked the unknown narrator and the sort of the analyzation of Cyborg, but mostly I just I like the main revelation that Cyborg finds at the end when he realizes that his father's maybe he's not still this way, but at least when he first saved him and put him in this alien technology, that he wasn't sure if he'd saved his son's life or if he created some sort of weird monster. I like that question that's
Yeah,
brought up.
I like that aspect of it. I thought the reveal at the end was a little bit. I didn't know what it meant, and again, I don't know if this is I'm reading it at 5 in the morning over a bowl of fruity pebbles before work, or what.
Well, no, I mean I don't think anyone knows who that is in the last page really.
Okay, because that's what I wasn't picking up on. I was like, am I supposed to know? So it looks like Cyborg, right? Like, it's got the C on the chest. And is this just one of his other armors he's left laying around? Because he's upgraded?
Well, no, he's been narrating the whole issue though, so it's not Cyborg.
No, I know that. I'm saying, there's a tie there.
Oh
Is
yeah,
what I was picking up on.
oh yeah. There's a tie,
Right?
obviously.
So,
But
because I was almost expecting it to be Grid. Because that was probably the best villain, I think, to come out of Forever Evil. Because it was kind of an original take on the cyborg archetype.
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who it is. I mean, it could turn out to be Grid in some weird way.
Yeah.
If Grid's stripped away part of his body and he's left looking like this, it could be him. I do actually really like the idea that whoever this is has started some sort of cybernetic Injustice League.
Yeah.
Cyborg Superman's there, and then some other cyborg people. So a
Uh,
lot of whom aren't super well known because let's be honest, there's only a few maybe popular ones. But
yeah, but from my deep dives in DC, I picked up on the Metal Man and Red Tornado, and
I got Red Tornado. I recognised.
I almost expected it to be either Tom Morrow, which that's a hell of a Silver Age name, or Will Magnus. Kind of, because those are the two robot experts we know from DC. So, and then when we see all the robots there, or cybernetic beings, I kind of like that. Also, kind of reminds me, they tried to do this right after Age of Ultron over at Marvel, where they assembled an Avengers team of technologically influenced heroes. So, you have a Doombot as a hero. Here comes Buddy.
And
No, wait
cats.
for him to lay down.
We got cats at
Yeah.
the same time, so
Hey,
Um,
lay down. And he sits there. Come on. You can't talk about comics. You
Yeah.
don't read. All right, he's going to sit here and stare at me, probably because he wants food, even though he just ate.
yeah, live
But-
dog action, live dog
Yeah.
wagging tail action on the podcast
Yep.
this week.
Uh,
Yeah, that is a huge dog actually.
yeah, he's a big guy. All right, and he's down.
Cool.
Cool. But with Cyborg, yeah, it had some cool questions, but I thought a lot of the tech stuff was a slog for me because it's like reading jargon.
So some of it was. I can see why you're saying that. It flowed well enough for me. I like the cut in between the sort of the flashbacks throughout the origin. I like that it kind of made me care about his mother, and I didn't even know his mother before this. Really. I mean,
Yeah, that was a new wrinkle that I like that they added.
Because it
So
was always just, oh, his dad's obsessed with work and doesn't ignores him until the
yeah.
day he's, injured and he has to save him. And
Well, I always kind of liked that it was the inverse of the dad jock relationship, where you got the jock dad who wants his son to play sports, and the kid just wants to play with his chemistry set and be smart. I always liked that Vic Stone was the inverse, where dad was the super smart guy and Vic just wanted to play football.
which, I mean, it makes sense because it's the whole
Yeah.
point. The whole point of that type of trope is that the parent wants the kid to be like them, and they're not. It doesn't really matter
Right.
which way around
Yeah.
the things are, So,
Yeah.
um,
But I thought adding the mom in there as a wrinkle is like the compassionate. Even though she was real sick, she always made sure young Victor was well taken care of. So I like that.
I like that it's
So
going.
there's
I like that it's going to be exploring the whole man versus machine thing and Cyborg like questioning how much of a man he still is. Like I think that's a good sort of arc to like kick off with. I assume you're going to read issue 1 because all the issue 1s have been better than the rebirths. So
yeah, I don't cut anything up unless it's something like
dire.
well, something that ends up in Connor's corner, where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not. This had enough of a concept when we heard about it at WonderCon that piqued my interest.
Yeah.
So kind of like Christopher Priest on Deathstroke. I'm not just gonna write it off. I'll probably give it the first arc, but I mean, if it falls off around 3 or 4, I might just wait to read it in trade because it might just read better that way.
No, I thought this was fair. I thought it set up the pitch that he made at WonderCon. I feel like this set that up. It also re-established the origin, and I think that's what it needed to do.
Yeah.
And hopefully next week when the plot's actually rolling a bit more, we can see what it's going to be
Yeah.
like
And
month to month.
And that's what's smart about the Rebirth issues is they're kind of a de facto number 1, but they're almost like a prologue to where you don't necessarily need it. So for someone like us who is familiar with the character, it adds that nice little wrinkle of the mom and man versus machine, but it
It's perfect
doesn't waste the first
yeah.
issue covering the origin.
Yeah, no,
So-
that's true, and I think most of them have been that. There's been a couple where it's like, no, this is just part 1. Like this should have just been issue 1. Green Arrow and Birds of Prey are the ones that I'm thinking of there mainly.
Yep.